Loneliness is good sometimes. Sometimes it's good. I think a lot of people think that loneliness is a bad thing, right? When we were growing up, we were put in naughty corners, right? To be alone as if it's some sort of punishment, which, when you're younger, it's kind of effective, let's be honest. But it doesn't really reflect the way things work in the real world. In real life, progression can take place when you are alone. Real progression. And I know I'm making a bit of an overusage of the word loneliness, right? Because being alone and loneliness are two different things, and we'll get to that. But loneliness, as it is broadly used, isn't inherently a bad thing. And I think many people need to understand that. I think when people become alone and they're by themselves for extended periods of time, they begin to think that, oh, something is wrong with me, or people must not like me, or I must be a terrible person. But that's not true. That's not true, right? Loneliness can be a very useful tool. You can develop and grow immensely, exponentially, by just being alone. I don't remember who it was that said that a lot of the world's problems would be solved if people could just sit in a room alone for hours. And that is so true. A lot of my greatest ideas have come by me being by myself, thinking things through, pondering life, and combing through events in my head and trying to make sense of it all. Because that is where consciousness comes from. You become conscious of yourself if you think, if you introspect. And being alone is very conducive to that. Not everything can grow while you're around a bunch of people, right? It's the reason why certain plants do well when they're by themselves in the soil, right? Sometimes you can get choked out. A lot of your creativity, your genius can go down the drain just by being overstimulated and having too much interaction with different people, right? So it's very important for you to focus on being alone and seeing to it that you grow in life, because that is very essential. And especially as we enter into adulthood, us teens, being alone can be very, very useful in that regard. You figure out who you are as a person. You figure out your likes and your dislikes. You begin to understand why you act in a certain way. You begin to become your own person. And that is very, very powerful in life, right? So being alone is not always negative, but here's a caveat. The thing is, many people in today's generation are lonely, way too lonely, and that is a problem, right? I said at the beginning that I was using the word loneliness broadly, and this is what I mean. So being alone is different from being lonely, right? You can be around a bunch of people and still be lonely. You aren't alone, but you are lonely, right? When you are alone, what I spoke about earlier, I was referring more so to being alone. But way too many people are lonely in this generation, and that is a problem, right? The world has more people than it has ever had, right? And I think people are way more disconnected than they ever have been, and that is a problem. Right? I'm recording this video on my phone for social media. And the ironic thing about social media is that it's called social media, but people have become more antisocial. I know you've heard that, but it really is a problem. If you look at the social issues that are at play nowadays in today's society, look at your peers, right? Anyone between the ages of 12 to like 28 suffer from serious mental illness, like a vast number of people. Not everyone, but more people than necessary, more people than usual, more people than it's supposed to be. You are young between 12 and 24. What business do you have suffering with mental illness? Social mental illness. When it comes to people, way too many people find it hard to talk to people. Way too many people have zero friends, no one to connect with. That is not good. That is not good. Right? I can't tell you the amount of times I've encountered someone who has zero social skills, and I mean zero, right? Human beings are social creatures. You cannot get away from interaction. That is how we thrive. That is how we survive. You need a friend. I need a friend. We all need people to grow with, right? We need to rub shoulders against people so we become more of ourselves, right? There was this author who said that one of the reasons we read so much is because we can never know too many people. And there's such beauty in that, because each person has value and each person is very unique. And it is so fun and exciting when you get to know and understand someone and someone gets to know the real you, right? And speaking of the real you, I feel like nowadays, you see the rise of the NPC, right? And that's become kind of a meme, but way too many people have no soul, no personality, like they are not there. We need more of that. I know it's kind of a trend to talk about authenticity, but that is a real thing. Have you ever spoken to someone and you feel like they're just a shell, like they're not there? They're just a shell, copying these phrases and regurgitating these experiences that other people have had, and all you see day by day is a copy and paste, a copy and paste, a copy and paste of this weird third party. And I think that needs to change, because once you get to interact with someone and you speak to them long enough, you get to know the person. There are real gems inside people, real gems. And my challenge to you is to go out and find those gems, right? As you go through your day-to-day life, take the time out to put your headphones down. And I'm speaking to me right now because I'm a big music. I love music. I always have my headphones on me. So I'm talking to myself as well. But sometimes we need to take time out to interact with people around us, because the world is beautiful. The world is beautiful and people are amazing. People are amazing, right? I'm sure you look at yourself sometimes and you wished someone would see just how wonderful of a person you are. I know this sounds kind of selfish, but you know that you have things inside you that people would love to appreciate. Well, my task for you is to go out and find those things in other people, right? Find those things in other people, because the truth is nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you are lonely, if you are suffering from mental illness, whatever it may be, maybe you feel neglected, maybe you didn't get the care and love and attention you wanted in your childhood, the best way to fix that is to learn how to interact better with other people while balancing being alone, because both states of being are vital to proper existence and to self-fulfillment and self-actualization, right? You need to master both concepts. You need to understand that interacting with people is one of the most fundamental ways of being, and that is how we go through life as human beings, right? We are social creatures. We need a friend. Everyone needs a friend, which is why Corbin Conversations is providing this. I want to reach out to people to allow people to see that this world is a wonderful place. It can be a wonderful place, and life is what you make it. So remember that whenever you go out, remember that when you're in public, next time you're in public and you feel the urge to take out your phone and scroll through some random app because you're afraid of confrontation, you're afraid of interaction with strangers, just remember that life is what you make it. If you want to meet someone new, if you want to have a new experience, you have to do something new. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you take nothing away from this video, take away the fact that if you want your life to change, you must do something about it. I believe you can do something about it, and one step in that direction will make a world of difference. Remember that. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and continue to support Corbin Conversations. You will be seeing more of me in the future. Thank you.